Welcome to tonight's Saturday Night Special, episode 118.
Hi, my name is Aaron Walker. I'm president and founder of the Mastermind Playbook. Masterminds are a great way to intentionally grow yourself and invest in others. And one way to be inspired to serve others well is to listen to this, the Inspired Stewardship podcast with my good friend, Scott Mader.
So instead, you need to begin to change your dreams into goals. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that means you need to make your dreams smaller. It's fine if you want to set a goal like you want to travel the world. Great. But now let's actually say what that means. Let's put some meat and potatoes around it. Let's put some detail around it.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Inspired Stewardship podcast. If you truly desire to become the person who God wants you to be, then you must learn to use your time, your talent, and your treasures for your true calling. In the Inspired Stewardship podcast, you will learn to invest in yourself, invest in others, and develop your influence so that you can impact the world.
In tonight's Saturday Night Special, I share why dreaming big can be both a good and a bad thing. I also talk about why dreams are the start but never enough by themselves. And I share why dreaming isn't enough and how you can change a dream into a goal. One area that a lot of folks need some help with is around the area of productivity. Getting not just more things done, but actually getting the right things done can be really tough. I've got a course called Productivity for Your Passion that's designed to help you do this and then to hold you accountable and walk with you so that you can tailor productivity not just to be getting more done, but actually getting the right things done. What's more, we take the approach of looking at your personality and how you actually look at things in the world and tailor the productivity system to your personality. Because the truth is, a lot of the systems that are out there are written really well for somebody with a particular personality type. But if you have a different approach to things, they just don't work. But there's tools and techniques and approaches that you can take that will work for anyone. And we help you do that in Productivity for Your Passion. Check it out over at inspiredstewardship.com/launch. Let's talk about having big dreams. Earlier this week, I talked about having a big why for change, having a reason that emotionally connects to what you want to do or why you want to do it, something that's deeper than just a goal. But I also said that goals were not bad. And the truth is, there is a difference between having a big dream and setting big goals. And dreams by themselves are really not good or bad, but they can have an effect on us. I know people that have big dreams. They have these dreams that have this nebulous feeling to them. I want to be rich. I want to travel and see the world. I want to do whatever I want whenever I want it. I want something. And that's as far as it goes. These big dreams of being rich or being popular or being famous or seeing the world or being able to do whatever you want don't ever get made into anything other than a dream. If you think about it, the connotation of, oh, he's nothing but a dreamer. Oh, she's nothing but a dreamer has a negative connotation to it because we look at somebody who just dreams as someone who's never going to actually achieve them. And the truth is, psychologically, sometimes setting big dreams and having those emotional feelings of connection to them can actually hold us back from achieving those dreams because we get a certain amount of psychological pleasure just from the act of dreaming, just from sitting there and having that picture in our head of sitting on the beach, sipping a Mai Tai and relaxing because all of your cares are taken away gives you a certain amount of. So the truth is, dreams are just a start. It's fine to have dreams, and it's good to have that emotional connection to something that you really want to achieve, but they're not enough by themselves. If all you ever do is dream and dream big, if all you ever do is set these nebulous goals that don't really have any sort of meat and potatoes and how do you know when you've achieved it? How do you know when it's over? How do you know that the challenge that you set is even possible? Because all you do is dream about it. So instead, you need to begin to change your dreams into goals. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that means you need to make your dreams smaller. It's fine if you want to set a goal like you want to travel the world. Great. But now let's actually say what that means. Let's put some meat and potatoes around it. Let's put some detail around it. Does that mean you want to go to 185 countries in the next 10 years? Does that mean you want to visit Europe or Germany or the US or Canada? Or what does it mean to travel the world? Does it mean you want to sell your home and buy an RV and travel across the United States? Put some actual detail to it. And then turn it into something that's a little bit more actionable than that. Say, what does that actually look like and what will it take to get there? I had a client who had this goal of paying off their house, but when we talked about what they wanted long term, one of the things they wanted was to actually become an RVer and travel around the country. And it actually ended up that we pivoted, and instead of working to pay off the house, they actually sold the house, used that money, bought an RV, began to travel around the United States, did that for 5 years, and then came back and bought a home and settled down and paid off that home. And they actually did quite well with this plan because it turned out that their real dream, what they really wanted to achieve, was actually something different than what they initially thought. So it is great to have the dream. But once they identified that travel was that ultimate goal, we then took that travel goal and began to break it down into actual goals. We said, what does it take to be able to do that? How much money does it take? How much time does it take? How is that going to affect the rest of your life, your relationships and your job and your whatever? Whatever your situation is, you need to begin to turn it into something more concrete. And that's what takes a dream into a goal. Because really, to turn a dream, whether it's a big one or a small one, into reality takes breaking it down into goals. It doesn't necessarily mean making it smaller, but it means making it into something that's actionable. Because the truth is, until you begin to take action, those dreams will never become reality. It's the actions that we take that makes the difference. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much for listening to the Inspired Stewardship podcast. As a subscriber and listener, we challenge you to not just sit back and passively listen, but act on what you've heard and find a way to live your calling. If you enjoyed this episode, please do us a favor. Go over to inspiredstewardship.com/iTunes rate, all one word, iTunes rate. It'll take you through how to leave a rating and review and how to make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so that you can get every episode as it comes out in your feed. Until next time, invest your time, your talent, and your treasures. Develop your influence and impact the world.